So this is the lightest backpack load I've ever taken. Well, 3 weeks in a row I've sat here. And at least on one of those weeks I managed to actually get up to Kinder. Today is a special day. This marks 1 year since I have been wild camping. First one I did was on the 28th of June last year. But more importantly, I'm celebrating that my youngest daughter is currently in hospital, about to have a baby. So maybe by the time I come back tomorrow, I'll have 4 grandchildren. I did sort of think, well, maybe I won't go today. But actually, although it's the 3rd week in a row I've sat here, in the last 10 weeks I've only managed to do Wildcamp. So I need this. My plan is I'm parked in Edale. I'm going to walk up Grindsbrook, and I'm doing that because I need a water source. There is one in Grindsbrook, of course, which should be running so I can get some water there. I'm then going to walk back to the 7-minute crossing, cross over, and probably camp at Sealstones. Well, that's a classic example of why you need a map. So I'm using OS Maps, which is my go-to route planner. You can plan a route, which I have done. You can download the route and then you just follow it on your phone. I like to do it because it's useful for seeing the gradients and etc. So started on Grindsbrook. I'm only in the very first field, and I got my phone out to have a look if it was working okay. Now in the car park I started the route, everything working fine, tracked me in through Edale, and now it's saying log in. Have you got an account? Do you want to log in? No idea why it's doing that. Gosh, it's a warm day. Not seen that many people really. Maybe 10 people in total, including 3 lads who were having a wild swim. Yeah, that's the advantage of coming midweek, of course. Taking regular breaks. It's very warm, it's 27 degrees. I've been at it, I've been on the walking now for an hour. Gosh, that was stunning play. Overtaken by 2 young ladies coming across the top. Might just be able to spot them over there. I don't know whether they made me go faster or slower. Certainly felt my age. Made it. There we go. Grindsbrook done. This is the top of the, as you're coming up the left hand side, and it's completely dry. There's no water in this at all. Now I'm going back that way, and the water that you might be able to hear flowing comes up the other side of it. Well, that's annoying. Just got the drone ready. I was going to fly over and sort of follow Grindsbrook up, follow the route coming up. Perfect position for watching the drone. It would have been a really good drone shot. But bloody DJI Fly app won't load. I do like that the OS maps, when you plot a route with it, will send you across the 7-minute crossing in the right place. On the way across the 7-minute crossing, there is a footpath which goes to the trig point and actually goes to Mad Woman Stones. Now, I plotted a route to Mad Woman Stones, but it didn't use that path. So, don't know why that is. 7-minute crossing. Let's see how fast it takes me. Time for a hyperlapse. Go! This is overlooking Blackburn Brook. There was no water at the top, but I can certainly hear it down there. Similar kind of situation to Grindsbrook. You would have to climb down if you wanted it. It does look a bit Kinder-ish. So I'm heading along the edge path. So, am I camping at Seal Stones or Mad Woman Stones? And the answer is ringing Roger. The answer is I have come across the 7-minute crossing, which I wanted to find. It was one of my aims. There's very little signal on this side of Kinder. I'm told if you go and stand up on some of the rocks, you can get a signal. But it's mission critical tonight. I've got to have that signal. If I get a call saying please come home quickly, or even if it's just, the good news, it's on my granddad again, I want that signal. And I don't want my wife and family to have an additional worry about me if I'm out of signal range and they don't know where I am. I never like that, but probably would let it go, but not tonight. It's a special night tonight. Just left the edge path and I'm following this path, which is pretty good actually, because there's not this is one of the bad grikes, and it's a bit soggy, but nothing. It's dried out an awful lot. And of course, I'm going up onto Edale Moor to the trig point, and then I know the way from the trig point. From the trig point, find the metal fence and follow it along. Da na 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 na. Na 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 na. Oh! Trig, trig, trig! Yay! So now I know from here to head over that way to that fence that you can see, and I follow the fence round basically to Ringing Roger. So we just arrived at the top of Ringing Roger. Now, I've no idea which one is Ringing Roger, and I've no idea if anyone's actually heard Roger ring, but there you go. Stunning view over the Edale Vale, and looking round on Grindsbrook Knoll, it looks like there are a couple of tents there. I wonder if that's those two ladies I saw going up. So there she is, all pitched up. I didn't know whether I'd be able to get the stakes in the ground here. It is quite rocky, but I think they're okay. It's taking a bit longer than I thought because there was a couple of very nice people came up, these two blokes, and I've been chatting to them for absolutely ages. So, the carrying on with the Quidian. So there's this is the clever thing where your Z light goes on the back, It's yet another buckle, which then your Z light comes out of there. I use one of these foils as well, so might as well get it down now. So it's down there, and then zap the Z light out. That's better, gives me something to sit on. So, useful tip when you're putting your Lanshan up, just clip the bag around your nearest fixed device. So I always throw empty bags down the bottom. So in my side pocket I've had water in that one, and in the other one I have got a water filter, and I keep 2 of the Platypus 2 litre bags in there. Just while we're talking about that, I used these this week. I didn't think much of them when I got them quite a while ago. They open out into a 500ml bladder that has a flip top, and you saw them, and they really go compact, and then that bit clips over. They have been brilliant today. I'm going to keep using those. I'll stick those over there. I've got 2 of them with me. Yeah, the Platypus. So I've got this this Platypus filter. The mini Sawyer one I haven't had it very long. I haven't used it that many times. Really annoying. It's split at the end, so I obviously had to get a new filter. This is great because it fixes directly to your 2 litre Platypus bags. You can use it as a mouthpiece straight away, and you can also there's an adapter goes with it, connects on there to allow you to back flush it if you need to. You don't need to back flush it to clean it. You can also clean it sort of out in the wild when you have your Platypus connected to it. You can swish it backwards and forwards this way, and that cleans it. But I like that. That's a great filter. So that goes in there, and I'll be using it shortly because I've got a 2 litre bladder of unfiltered water. Look how clear that water is. So that's in that side. Another empty bag, and another one of those little clips, which I will just clip that up with. So the roll top on it, you saw me take something out earlier on. I aren't going to take my waterproof stuff out the back. I've got a waterproof coat, or a coat that's fairly waterproof, and a sun hoodie. I don't think I'm going to need either of those today. Little sit pad, which I will use, even though I've got this down. Electric kit. Head torch, etc. And little radio. Temperature 23 degrees. Yeah, so that's that usually stays at the top here. My charging kit. So I've got a 20,000 hour brick there, and I will plug my phone in because it's getting lowish. These are fast charge ports, and they do charge at different rates. Right, so that's charging there. So I've got a couple of spare batteries for my little GoPro, fake GoPro, charging cables. When it's cold, winter time, I put my phone inside one side of this and the charging brick on the other side, and that goes in my sleeping bag to keep it warm, because as you know, cold really plays badly. I brought 8 of these today, which I need to probably find a place for where they go. They'll go there for a moment. Hoodie, down jacket. I had to think then. So this is my night gear. If I'm going to need it, I probably will sleep in the clothes I've got at the moment. I don't think I'll be that cold. I have brought some little flip-flops. Again, yeah, I probably will use those today. I'll put them just there for the moment. So I've got a plate. I do like to have a plate. Now, I've not brought a table this week. Instead, I've brought this. It's a fiberglass board, and I've cut it to fit inside there, so I can put my alcohol stove on top of that. So I've not brought the table. I'm saving, 500 grams by not bringing the table. What's next? Food! Thank goodness. So food. I need to get my beer out. So I've got 2 beers, which I should be cracking very shortly. Food goes in the corner. Cook set. Nothing unusual there. I've gone for an alcohol burner. Yeah. Fuel bottle. So I used a little plastic Nalgene bottle last week. Not impressed. You go to pour it and it goes all over. This one, you undo that top, put it over and press the button, and it pours. The only thing is, that's the smallest size that they do, and I would like it smaller than that. I'll just keep looking, I think. And the sleeping bag, which I'll get out now so it's lofting. Got the OEX Leviathan. I could imagine I'm going to use this Leviathan right through the year. I'm not going to buy a different sleeping bag this year. What else? Right then, so there is one zipped pocket in here, and in the zip pocket I've got a first aid kit, I've got an everyday carry kit, and I've got a couple of foot warmers which I'm not going to need today. So that's my backpack empty. That Quidian is amazing, as are these. So the first one, Edale Dark Mild Restoration Series, 4%. I've not gone too silly today. Modern interpretation of a classic. Expect smooth, balanced, malt sweetness. Yeah, whatever. Oh, I'm ready for this. Ooh. Bollocks! Good job I brought a cloth. Oh, that's a twat, isn't it? Was that obvious that was going to happen? Ugh. Dope. Poo bags. They will be for putting my rubbish in. I'm going to get one of those set up in a minute. Oh, that was annoying. Right. Try again. Dark mild. It's fine. It's a good dark mild, 4%. Edale very rarely disappoint. That will be smashing. I shall come back to you later. That's been a great camp. Really enjoyed that. I'm turning off now. I'm going to concentrate on getting down. I'm using my trekking poles, which I usually do going downhill. It saves your knees a lot. So I'll speak to you again when we get to the car.
You know, I can't not say this. Walking up Grindsbrook yesterday, well on the way up, on one of the little bladed forests, someone hung a poo bag up. Why the hell? Take your dog out. Your dog had better be just crapping and you flick it in the side. Or carry the poo bag home. All over the beautiful Kinder Scout, there is white tissue paper. Just disgusting. Get a bag, put it in the bag, carry it home with you. And then to really properly finish it off, just coming down Grindsbrook, in that last field, somebody's taken off their trainer leggings and pants and left them. I thought that's unusual, but then when you go past it, it's because they've crapped themselves. That is just disgusting. What kind of animals are they? And I'm back in Edale now, just going past the outdoor centre. And there is a pair of what look like really good brace your boots and socks just left on the side. Humans, honestly, for God's sake. Anyway, rant over. And back at the car. That was a great camp. Really, really nice. So my original plan was to go up Grindsbrook, head across the 7-minute crossing, camp at Sealstones or Madwoman Stones. But when I got across to the other edge, Kinder, there was no phone signal, and obviously I needed a phone signal last night, so I followed the edge along until I could see the trig, or in fact no, so I followed the edge path along until I could see Edale Moor trig. In fact no, it was a little bit after that. Sort of followed it round, and then when I saw that there was a path going across to it, I followed the path to Edale Moor trig. And then I knew the route then to Ringing Roger. The moor is a lot drier than it was 2 weeks ago. Most of the grikes you could get across without getting your feet wet. Some of them were a little squelchy, but only a tiny bit. Got to the fence, followed the fence round, got onto Ringing Roger. Now there aren't many pitches on Ringing Roger. You know, even with a small tent, even with a bivvy, I know bivvies you don't have to have a flat pitch, but there aren't many places there that you could actually pitch. But I got a smashing pitch. got all set up. The Lanshan, brilliant. Took my time setting it up. It really does need to be on a flat surface. I've got to work out what I do when I haven't got a flat surface and how I make it so it's still anchored down. I mean, it was anchored down. It was a bit breezy last night. I would say gusts probably 15 miles an hour. But I didn't change my clothes. I kept in the same clothes I'd had on. It was very warm all night. Didn't have anything to eat, just had a couple of beers. Didn't even make myself a cuppa. That's something to think about for my my ultralight journey, definitely. New bits of kit that I'm very pleased with. I love my little radio. I've got a little DAB radio. Superb, minute, lightweight, of course. It's DAB. It's just nice to be able to listen to something entertaining, and I know there's plenty to entertain you when you're camping, but yeah, I love that little radio. Other nice things, let me think. There are bound to be. The Quidian backpack is brilliant, real game changer for me. The new water filter works fantastic. Need to get a USB-C to USB-C lead in the pack. And I think the Osmo camera has behaved itself. Yeah, so this morning I pack the Lanshan up. I do it by, I leave it staked to the ground, take out the trekking poles so it collapses. Oh dear. Then take out the guy lines and wrap them up. Now, using hairbands on the guy lines, that they haven't worked. One of them snapped, and the way I tied them, they were all I'd sort of pulled the cord out from them, which meant that the hairband was still wrapped around the cord 5 times. So I had to unthread them, which was a pain. So I need to look at that. Yeah, so I do the guys, get them into the middle. I have put the ground sheet in the same stuff sack as my tent. Won't always do that. I want the ground sheet kept separately because the ground sheet will be damp. If you're lucky, the Lanshan will not need drying out, but the ground sheet I think will always be damp. Now, it's not damp yesterday because basically my tent was on top of a piece of stone. It was very dry where we were. Yep, so got packed up, left no trace, of course. In fact, I picked up 2 or 3 bits of rubbish. I've just had a quick rant about the animals on Kinder who were, leaving stuff all over the place, and little bits that you think, well, that could have got away, that could have blown away. But there's stuff that is just blatantly thrown down. It's disgusting. 3 notable things which I said on this little rant I had. Someone put a poo bag in the tree, quite far up Grindsbrook. Who's going to move that? That's just disgusting. If you got an animal, be responsible. Take it home with you. Or just let it poo naturally and flick it. But I know the advice is to take it home with you, and I agree on that. Disgusting. Coming down Grindsbrook, when I got onto the field there, someone's taken off their sports leggings. Looks like a lad because there was a pair of boxers inside as well, and they've shat themselves. Absolutely filthy. And just left it there. Again, who's going to move that? Bloody animals. And then one that maybe there's an explanation for. There's a pair of brassiere walking boots, look quite good ones. Didn't look to be damaged, with a pair of walking socks inside them. Just stood at the side of the road. Maybe they've dropped off something. Maybe they've been on a car, and the car's, you've swapped your boots, put them on the top, forgotten about them, set off. and they've fallen off. So I suppose there might be an explanation for that, but I don't know. Anyway, headed back down the nab, coming off the back of Ringing Roger. Very steep. That wouldn't be very nice if it was wet at all, or if the ground had been wet for a while and it was slippy. Have to take it very steady. Trekking poled it, and all of the really steep path coming down will not be very nice if the ground is slippy. And in fact, I would not do them if the ground was slippy. I think maybe Kinder, when it's wet, could be a lethal place. So yeah, I'm back at the car, so that's been a smashing camp. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it, sticking out to the end. My channel is here. Please click and subscribe. Would really like it if you could like the video as well. Up here is another video I did up on Kinder, and up here is a playlist of all the wild camping videos I've got so far in my first year of wild camping. Thanks for watching.